to my show day makeup tutorial. Y'all have been asking for a YouTube makeup tutorial for a hot minute now, so here it is. I am competing in the Toronto Pro today in the IFBB figure division, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to a good show. I taught myself how to do my makeup back in 2020 when shows were being canceled and everybody was just like, oh, we don't know what's going on. And so I was like, you know, I ain't got nothing better to do. And yeah, so I taught myself how to do show day makeup using some other YouTubers' tutorials and worked out great. So yeah, I'm gonna show you guys my process. First thing, you wanna make sure you have a clean face and prep your face really well, because this makeup is gonna be on for, I mean, upwards of like 12 hours, even sometimes even longer, depending on when you actually go on stage. So I did get my tan this morning, and you'll get some of that residual tan on your face. So I do like to use a cleansing wipe, get that out of there, and then we go at it with toner. We got Thayer's toner. I also like e.l.f. hydration toner. Works pretty well. So I just go in here pretty liberally with this guy. And we're just doing whatever toner does. Oh no. Next up, we got MAC cleansing oil. I didn't used to do this at the same time, but I did it last time, and I don't know. I really like just the added moisture and cleansing benefits, plus it smells really nice. So MAC cleansing oil, it did come in like a little combo pack with the serum that I use as well. But once you get all that on there, and look, still more tan coming off. Next up, I do like to spray with rose water. Just be careful of your neck, because if you spray this, you're gonna get your, like, obviously your face in there. So be careful when you're spraying things, because your tan cannot get wet. Next up, I do have a eye cream that I like. This is on Amazon, like 12 bucks. Some green tea eye serum, doesn't matter, just something. MAC serum, doesn't have to be MAC serum. I used to use the Neutrogena hydrogen something or other. I've also used a couple other serums, but we're just trying to get good moisture, lock in that moisture, since we are going to be baking the face, foundationing the face, all the things. And then last but not least, I go at it with my La Roche double moisturizer, and this is the final step of pre-makeup. I haven't started yet, guys. My face does feel really nice now. Usually I do my hair before I do my makeup. However, today I'm wanting my hair to stay a certain way, so I am doing my hair after. Next up, we have primer. I use the Hourglass Primer. Very, very good quality stuff here, guys. Lightweight, goes on pretty smooth. I do just use my hands for primer. I'm not an actual makeup artist, but this is what I've been doing for a while. I also like Morphe's eye primer. So I usually just put a little dollop on my finger there. 1, 2, and then I'll spread this around. It sometimes will get creasy, so I will put some powder on this just so that I don't get those creases. I'll put a little on my neck too, since I am going to be blending this down into my makeup, or my tan. Might have put a little too much primer on there. Okay. Sweet. I always have like a trash towel. You can't see it, but there's a trash towel down here. That way I can just wipe my hands as needed throughout the process, because trust me, it is needed. I'm going to set my eyes. I use the Laura Mercer setting powder. Translucent, always translucent. This is the mini one. I honestly prefer to have the bigger one for show day stuff, but you know what? This was actually a gift, so I cannot complain. I love not having to pay for makeup. So that is set on there. So I've got my primer on my eyes. Second thing I'm going to do is my concealer. I do like to do this before I put on my eyeshadow and stuff, just so that I can have a little base to go off of. We're gonna use a little sponge. I have used it for show day before, so it's already got some other colors on it, but those will come up just fine. If you've never done makeup before, you want to do your creams first. So all of my foundation is powder, or all of my foundation is liquid. My concealers are liquid. So we do all the liquid stuff first, other than eyeshadow, and then we'll bake it later. But yeah, I like to get some concealer on there. That way it's at least underneath when we put the foundation on. Let's get into the eyes. Today's look is going to be a dark brown smoky eye with gold accents. So I'm going to be using the Jaclyn Hill Volume 2 palette here for her gold. Look at that color. Beautiful. That's exactly what I want. So that's going to be the gold that I go in with later, but I have to build it up, right? So we're going to build up into that color using the Revolution and the Morphe Natural Flirt 35XO. When it comes to eyeshadow, I am a light, medium, dark. That's how I go about it. If you actually do makeup, you can look away because you're probably not gonna like my process here. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do this and then I'll explain it after I've done it because you don't want to watch all this. All right, so we've gone with a gold smoky eye. I do the tape method. It just keeps things clean. So here we go. We're gonna take the tape off. Ooh, ooh, nice. And there we go. It also took off some concealer, but that's okay. Got nice crisp lines. Those will end up getting blurred out a little bit just because foundation. So for foundation, I usually use 3 shades. We've got Classic Tan, we've got Deep Golden, and then a light beige, which I might not use. I'm gonna go grab a coffee cup, and we usually mix it together. You wanna be 1 to 2 shades lighter than your actual like tan. So that's what we're shooting for today, is at 2 to 3 shades lighter. I am doing my foundation before my eyebrows and before my liner, because once I set it all, the setting will like ruin my brows and ruin my liner. So that is the thought process there. All right, I've got a shade whipped up here that we're going to try, and we'll see. So that's what I've got so far. It's still a little light, so it's easier to darken it than it is to lighten it. So if you start off with like a lighter shade, you can always make it darker. And same thing with like bronzer. If you end up putting it on and it's still too light on your face, but you don't want to redo the whole thing, you can always darken it with a little bit of bronzer, which is what I had to do in the last show. Okay, I'm gonna go with this just because I get nervous, and again, it's easier to darken the shade than lighten it. So this is already like pretty dark. And yeah, I usually just put it on just like this, and then I have a kabuki brush that we will blend it in with. Oh, I already forgot a step. Just to keep things from like getting too crazy, I do contour with the Shape Tape Matte. You do not want to highlight with, rookie mistake. You do not want to highlight with actual like shiny highlighter. You only want to use matte things, because on stage, you don't want to look sweaty. You want to look like contoured. So we want to still have our shapy face, but we don't necessarily want to be shiny, like sparkly. Don't put glitter on your freaking bodies, guys. I have seen people do that. It's weird. Kabuki. We're just gonna go in It's my first season using a kabuki brush, and I really freaking like it. It has really made things a lot easier for me, just blending wise. All right, it is looking a little light, so I'm going to add just straight to the dome. Just a little bit though. I noticed that I put it kind of on that contour line anyways. Actually blends in perfectly with the neck, so that's a good sign, because my neck is not quite near as dark as the rest of my body, obviously. All right, I'm gonna take my hoodie off. Gotta gauge this color out. I'm actually pretty happy with that, because I'm going to also do this the under eye again. Need to brighten that up. I need to brighten up right into my cheekbone here, right there, and then I'm also gonna do a little T-spot here, a little brighter there. You don't want to use your daily makeup sponges on show day, because they will either get ruined. Oh yeah, I guess you could wash them if that's something you're into. And I am still going to use my bronzer here, so I think we'll be okay. Might not have needed this big old blotch up there though, because now I'm gonna have to do this. Got that a little too light. Also I have bangs, so like nobody sees my forehead. If they see your forehead, you gotta make sure that's not too dark or too light. And then I just do a little dusting over right there, that way it's not quite as dramatic. All right, I am pretty happy with this. I'm gonna set this bad boy into place. So again, tiny one is kind of a pain. I flip it over. Same as the forehead, and also my chinny chin chin. I think this is an e.l.f. pencil. It was at one point. Coming in here to my waterline. I'm just going inside there. This is something a makeup artist would not be able to do on me, because I'd start crying. All right, so now my eyes have a little bit of depth to them. I'm also going to do it on the under eye portion here. I will come back with my eyeshadow palette and be doing some either gold or like a brown underneath, just to help those pop a little bit more too. And now everything is pretty flat, but I still have some lighter parts underneath my eyes, which is what I wanted. I wanted those to pop. So that's so far so good. All right, for the brows, I use the Morphe Brow Kit. I start by outlining them. I just use my natural shape. I don't go with anything extra. But because it is show day, I do outline them. You want your features to be bold on stage. You don't want anything to be flat. So, bold brows. They always look uneven to me. No idea. All right. So, once I outline it, then I'm going to go even darker with the mocha. And this also helps give them a little bit more color, because the foundation kind of muted brows a good bit. So this really brings them back to life color-wise. That will have to do. One thing that I like about this kit, it comes with a like highlighter pencil thingy that I use to actually outline my brows with. So they look pretty like muted. When I say outline, you take this little guy and I put them underneath, like right in between where my eyeshadow goes, and then I blend this with my finger. It just helps. I feel like it helps give the brows a little bit of a highlight, and you can do it on the top too. So again, we're not using actual highlighter, but we can help to accent those brows just a little bit, give it a little sharper edge there. Just like that. Oh yeah. So, brows look good. I'm now going to do my cat eye wing eyeliner. Again, I I really like those eyes to pop. I'm gonna do this off camera. Look up a wing tutorial. Oh, hi. I am going to do a little brown liner underneath here. So we're taking a brush just like that. Going with my faux color, you can't see it anyways. See, just like that. A little extra brown there. Into our contour next. This is a very old, couldn't tell you what it is palette, but bronzer. Get a dark one. Right there on those cheekbones. Just like that, but on the forehead here. And then underneath that jawline. Just for a little extra cautionary, I am going to do a little more highlighter. This white one here. Just right there. I want to make sure that my cheekbones don't, I keep doing the wrong one. Just like that. So if you have a palette like this and you overdo your contour, you can kind of fix it a little bit without having to go all the way back to the beginning with that liquid, because I've already set it. I can't go back now. Okay. Or if like your under eye, you wanted it to be a little brighter, come in there with that. And it's all matte. All right, no shimmer on any of this. Last but not least, blush. I am a blush girl. All right, so this is, I believe, also Revolution Blush Reloaded Rose Kiss. It's on the pinker side, okay? Which is fine with me, but I just don't do a lot. So puff my cheek and then go pop. Puff, puff. Puff, puff. And now pretty pink. And then I like to come back in here with, put it down a little bit with that bronzer brush. That's pretty much it, except for lashes. So I'm gonna set this. I use Urban Decay All Nighter Matte, Ultra Matte. Make sure there's no weird spots. It was giving me weird spots at one point. A couple doses of that. Lashes, I use Ardell 811. Notice they flare, okay? You don't want big old lashes that are gonna cast a shadow over your eyes. We just talked about like brightening the eyes with the highlighter or Shape Tape. So last thing you wanna do is pick a lash that's gonna just cast that shadow. So I do use one that has a flare to it. The 811s are awesome. I have pre-cut these. Now I just have to glue them on. Notice I have no fingernails right now. I usually put my nails on after I do my makeup. That way I can put on my lashes. So a little pro tip. Also, it's way cheaper than getting your nails did. And when you're rough on your hands like I am, it's not even worth the money or the time because they last a week. What? Psh, ain't got time for that. You gotta sit there for however many hours and they judge you the whole time. It's the whole thing. I don't mind getting pedicures. Pedicures, they're relaxing, they're a good time, but manicures just aren't my thing. I do use House of Glue. This has lasted me so long. I've been very impressed with the glue. It lasts really well. I usually will put it on and just kind of sit around for a while it dries. What I could do while it does that is my liner. I'm using MAC Soar eyeliner pen. I'm gonna outer line my lips today, just give them a little extra, which means I'm going on the outside of my lip line, not on my lip line. All right, so I'll come back to that, but lash should be ready. So what I do is I close my eye and I usually try to put it like smack in the middle. It doesn't always like line up perfectly. So then you can either pull or not pull, whatever direction needs to go. And yeah. I hold it there for a second. Should be pretty tacky at this point. That way you can like still play around with it if you need to. And then I just come right on around. Don't worry, it does dry clear. Lashes just bring it together. I'm trying this out. I'm gonna try Kylie's pink today and see if it's too light. Usually I use Androgyny from Jeffree Star. And I do love it, but we're trying for a different look today, something a little brighter. It did kind of spread, so I'm gonna come back with my liner here. I actually really like this. I will also use Shape Tape to add a little ombre effect. Ooh, go with my lash on. I love this. Little Shape Tape hack, might be too late. Boop. And that gives you the ombre look. Oofta. I'm not mad at this. All right, guys, last but not least, I do lock it in with a little mascara. I usually wait till the lashes are dried, though, because you don't want to disrupt those. So wait for your lashes to be good and dry, and then go in with the mascara just as like a finishing touch to kind of blend everything together there. One thing I try to keep in mind with show day makeup is, in reality, the judges are really far away. So like if there's something tiny, don't stress, it's not worth it. Just move on. Like right now, I can tell that this side is slightly brighter than this side. Nobody's gonna be able to know. Even the photography, like it's all gonna end up the way it's supposed to be. So yeah, hope this tutorial helped you out. Make sure you take your lip stuff backstage because you are going to be eating, and you want to make sure you have those touch-ups. I also like to take a little eyeliner just in case. My eyeliner does like to start to smudge a little bit, so I'll like pat, 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 and then just darken it down. But other than that, oh, lash glue. Take your lash glue with you because you never know when these suckers will just fly off. I haven't had any issues with the House of Lashes, but otherwise, hope you all enjoyed this video, and yeah, I'm glad I was finally able to make it for you.